All right. You guys like the gross stuff. I was scrolling on eBay when I saw a broken Wii that I knew I had to have. Seller said that the eject button doesn't work. It's in the bag because it's bug infested, guys. That was annoying. I didn't like that. Anyways, seller told me that it was infested and hooked me up with this nice bag. It's been sitting in my garage for an eternity, nice and cold. Hopefully whatever infestation there was is gone. I can't confirm it's gross. Okay, I'll set him there for a moment. Let me just peek inside this bag. Oh man, you can just smell you can smell it. Why? Why does it gotta smell that way? Anyways, this is the, oh God, bless. It smells so bad. It's the RVL 101. So you're supposed to lay this one on its side, and it doesn't have the GameCube ports, and I don't know why I bought this. Okay, let's speedrun disassembly so that I don't have to touch it anymore. Okay, that was a bug right there. I don't know that I'd say it is. That poor bug had been through some stuff. Jesus. Whoa, Nelly. This is not, okay. Seems, okay, that's it, All right, skill issue. You know, back in my day, we just took these off with our teeth. Okay, that is not what I wanted to occur. Why does it have to be the very last one? Now I'm gonna have to go hunt that down. Oh, all right, skill issue. They leave the shell. That's hilarious, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of gunky. Okay, the important thing here is that I have a hair. Good, I was hoping. There's a roach leg on my desk. We are ignoring it. If I don't look at him, he won't look at me. So I have a hypothesis here on why the eject button doesn't work. It's wrong. My hypothesis is very wrong. And this really smells like bug. Oh my gosh. Here's our shield. You can kind of see the bug bits here and there. Really not that bad. This thing, again, on the inside looks clean, but on the outside, like there's just this little bit of gunk indicating infestation. On our eject button, I actually don't see any damage or anything like that, so I don't think it's the button itself. It does have gunk on the outside. There's so much evidence that bugs have been here. Where are the bugs? Okay, so this does come with a game, but I'm still not coming across any bugs. I'm just seeing indication that there has been infestation. This is a weird one, and it reeks. I mean, this was in an infested environment. And then on the inside of our shell, again, there's tons of frass. I hope that's picking up okay for you guys. Oh, I do see right there a bug. He's not alive, right? He responds to the static of my glove. And then I guess I didn't really show this to you guys, but tons of frass on the outside. Like, there's plenty of indication that there should be an infestation. So where are my friends? I'm starting to get a little worried, guys. Okay, you see, so there's a way to repair things that involves not throwing them, hoping somebody will teach it to me. One of the really common reasons that the eject button doesn't work is sometimes you get a second disc or something stuck in there. I might see a second disc in there. So let's find out. Okay, so this is the exact same setup on this side as the backwards compatible Wii. I'm assuming this mechanism is different. Why does this have like the strongest infested smell and is so obviously infested on the outside, but on the inside there's just no bug? Honestly, this looks the same as the other one. I don't know that I would know the difference. So now let's see if my hunch was right and there's a second disc here. I have another theory if that's not the case. Okay, so it's just the one disc. Okay, whew, thank God. I was worried that this worm gear had broken, but no, the worm gear is fine. I mean, a pretty obvious one is just this isn't aligned, so we can kind of make sure that it's run all the way back. There we go. So now, this thinks there's nothing in there. My last hypothesis is that the rollers are filthy. Like, it's really not that dirty. I'm so confused. I did lose a little bit of a thermal pad right there. Some of it's there. Maybe I replaced that. So I've known that they reused the board, but seeing these ports right here for all the GameCube accessories is really funny. Ah, nice thermal pad. Heat sink's got some dirt and debris in there. It's not bad. Thermal pads kind of suck, and I probably need to replace this one. I might as well make this one actually cover the chip. May as well do the same here. Yeah, I mean, the board visually looks okay. I guess maybe I should get the antennas out of my way while I'm saying that. I am debating power washing it. I am I am debating chucking this in the ultrasonic. I mean, would alcohol be enough for the odor, or do I need something stronger? Here's my hypothesis. The switch is dirty. It's been my hypothesis the entire time. So I have a hypothesis here on why the eject button doesn't work. One of the really common reasons that the eject button doesn't work is sometimes you get a second disc or something stuck in there. I was worried that this worm gear had broken. I mean, a pretty obvious one is just this isn't aligned. My last hypothesis is that the rollers are filthy. I mean, there's little bits of bug left behind still. How do they have such a successful operation? I mean, they infiltrate the system, give it this beautiful aroma, and then back out and nobody's the wiser? I mean, occasionally somebody breaks a leg and leaves that behind, I guess. I'm gonna start by cleaning the shell. The smell is offensive to me and I don't wanna be around it any more than I need to. So first thing I'm gonna do is all this stuff is gonna go in a hot, what am I saying? I'm gonna get really hot water, put a whole bunch of dish soap in there, put that stuff in there, let it soak for a long time. We are going to dip these bad boys in and let them soak for a while. What's up with these contact points? Do I need these? The taped thing? I don't know what those are. If you know what this strip and this are, you let me know. Okay, don't float. Go away. Oh, he floats, okay. I'm just gonna let this soak for a really long time and then scrub it down whenever I think it's done something. I'll change the water out, it'll be a whole thing. You guys can imagine. While the plastics do what the plastics do, we are going to make some loud noises. We're gonna go ahead and clean this board up a little bit. Do I wanna replace this thermal pad? Do I wanna replace these? That's kind of what I need to figure out right now. I'm thinking I do. So I'm gonna set this off to the side. So here's what I'm gonna do. You guys told me don't vacuum the board because ESD, which makes sense. I'll allow it. So I have an ESD safe brush and we'll use that. So we're gonna go for the option that involves not ultrasonic cleaning this for now. And that option includes some isopropyl alcohol. First, I just wanna really get in here on these switches. And this is activating some of the bug smell. Okay. If you work on consoles, you have chosen to work on infested consoles, you probably know the smell I'm about to talk about, but the smell of isopropyl alcohol mixed with infested, I hate it. It's just such a unique combination it's not good. Nobody needs this in the world. Isopropyl alcohol on its own is like fine. Maybe it's a bit strong. Infested smell is bad. There's no getting around that. It's proteiny. I don't know how to describe it to you guys. Hope that's not important, because it's gone. Am I good with that? Do I want to cotton swab it? Maybe I do. Maybe I do want to cotton swab it. Basically, I'm just looking to see what color comes up on the Q-tip. When you're trying to clean something, it's best to use a white thing to clean it, because you can see the color transfer so that you know if the thing that you're trying to clean is actually coming up. Because oftentimes, you'll be cleaning something and either you see it disappear or it doesn't. And then that's how you assume whether or not you're cleaning. But in this case, I got a whole bunch of brown stuff to come up that I didn't even see on the board. If I would have been using like those black Q-tips, for example, I probably wouldn't have seen the brown stuff on the Q-tip, and I would have not known that there's gunk over here that needed my attention. Me personally, if I don't see it, it didn't happen. Like, the board visually doesn't look any different to me. I mean, most of my comment section, you guys are way more experienced than I am, so you probably just know anything I could possibly teach you. I mean, I guess I could teach you like effective SEO strategies, like, I don't know, clickbait for LinkedIn or whatever. I got you. Yeah, it's really down here where the gunk is. Like, maybe it's just the, you know, gravity working to run all the gunk down here as I'm cleaning. Let's not rip a cap off the board, Matthew. You don't have the skills to fix that. Y'all, I am excited. We have some nicer stuff coming in. A company that makes Super Wick, MG Chemicals. I have some of their flux coming in. The same brand of wick I was using, the Ametessium, or I don't know what it was. I've been using their flux, and I really just cannot stand the smoke that comes off of it. And I have this liquid flux, and the liquid flux doesn't like do anything like what this gel flux does. I assumed this is just what gel flux did. I'm green, I don't know. I'm over here just accepting my fate. And then I see this Reddit thread where somebody talks about how that flux in particular has terrible fumes, makes them cough up a lung. And so they don't use it, and they use this other flux instead. And it works even better, and it doesn't do that. And I'm like, wait, what? It's not just me? So I got MG Chemicals flux coming in. Really excited. I think this is okay. I think we got there. I am just gonna hit these one more time. Really try to get inside this port, this one. Each of these switches can get a little bit of extra love, and so can these ports. I have to clean off these chips. Has to be nothing on there when the fresh thermal pads go on. I want to see if I can test these switches. I'm trying to figure out where I'm supposed to get continuity, because these things are really small. So if I go in here, I should get nothing, as long as my probes don't touch, right? There's no way to test them on the bottom. Yeah, fellas, I don't have probes small enough to do this. That is a problem. I mean, I feel like these are really small. So maybe this is a skill issue. So that's unfortunate. If the switch itself doesn't seem to activate anything in the optical drive, that's gonna really suck, because getting back down to this board is annoying. It's a risk I'm willing to take. That's unfortunate. It's not an answer that you want. All right, let's clean this. Now this dude, man, I always hate cleaning the fans. So let's try, oh, that's weird. Let's try just getting in here like this, maybe. A little spastic, a little crazy. Yeah. That's terrible. This is not a good approach. I've ruined this brush already. Guys, why can't I have nice thing? This isn't nice thing. I don't know why I'm saying that. This is so cheap. Ooh, I just got hungry and I'm sweating. My body has remembered that I'm supposed to have calories to operate. And what's I gonna do without those? Starve to death? Grow up. Consider this your reminder, if you're not in the Discord yet. Guys, it's popping off. The Discord has 4 people and I'm 2 of them. Join the Discord. We're gonna have polls on how I should spend my money. I'll let you guys decide. Because right now, I need a better soldering iron to solder some legs on a chip. I mean, you guys have seen my iron probably, right? I don't know. But I have this style, which number one is just like gigantic and super uncomfortable. But also I can't like hot swap the tips conveniently, because I have to like take this off, and then we have this whole thing. And it's not great. And I just don't have any small tips for it. Here's our smallest tip. So we need to do that. And I kind of want you guys to weigh in on what I should get. You know way better than I do. Or tell me that what I have is fine, and if I can't solder neurons together, then it's a skill issue. The iron that I currently have has just such a short cord. And it's a stiff cord too, so it's really annoying because I need the iron space to face me to use it comfortably. So I'm like dragging the station around as I'm doing this. So having something that has a flexible, longer cord, or is cordless but actually can like deliver the wattage it says it can, that's interesting to me. Did that rip off? What? That ripped the coating off. So what's up with this stuff? I don't understand. Because I've now found this on a couple of these consoles. There's no tack to that whatsoever. Let's take a crappy spudger, see if it wants to come off. Nope. Okay. Not really. It doesn't love the idea. I don't know, I just don't trust the coloration of that. Like, that looks like there's gonna be odor if we don't get it out of here. So, I think the IPA will have just helped me quite a bit, so let's see. It's no big deal, it's just like, you know, this is kind of my job right now, so if you wouldn't mind making me look good in front of my friends by coming off, that would be great. Really. That's how it's gotta be? Okay. Ultimate tool. Pokey pointy scrapey thing. Let's go. Always. It's always you. Gosh, how does he do it, guys? How does the pokey pointy thing always come in clutch? What are these called? Because they're not dental picks. These are not that. I mean, dental picks serve the same effect, but if your dentist busted one of these bad boys out, I don't think you'd feel super comfortable. I have lost that. Oh, nope, it's right there. All right, and okay, yep. But this time, oh, don't stab yourself, Matthew. Ooh. Heyo. You have got to cooperate. I mean, you already it's already done. It's finished. All right, goodbye. That's done. All right, so that just leaves the optical drive, which will need like its own whole thing. The thermal pads, and we need to finish cleaning the shell, and then we reassemble and test. After letting everything soak in the soapy water for a day, I changed everything out with fresh hot water, added some more soap, and got to scrubbing. I think this particular infestation was a brown banded cockroach infestation. Here's the skin from one that we found earlier. You can kinda see what I think is a brown and clear series of stripes across the skin here, which I'm pretty sure is how you actually identify them. These tend to be a bit less in numbers than the German cockroaches. They also prefer warm, dry areas, so they're often found inside electronics just like German cockroaches. Here's the best shot at one of their egg sacs that I got. Not super proud of the work here. Anyways, it's a light caramel colored egg sac glued in place, which matches their MO. If anyone knows better, and I'm like way off base, make sure to roast me in the comments so that I can learn. Regardless of the species, when you're working on infestations like this, there's a few ways to get rid of the smell. I just went with dish soap, but I heard a lot of people recommend vinegar and baking soda and even bleach. So maybe we can try some different approaches in the future if somebody in the comment section has a favorite recommendation. More important than whatever we use to get rid of the odor, getting rid of the contamination is by far the most important and effective step. So a very thorough clean is the most important part of all of this. This comes off. I don't remember if it's taped or glued into place, but if I apply a little pressure, we can see that separates right there. So we can actually get in there to get this even cleaner. And I think if I want to get the smell out of there, then this is one of the steps that has to be taken. Take a cheap spudger, wedge that in there as far as I can. That seems to be working okay. I'm a little worried that we're gonna damage the plastic with this approach. I'll switch to one of these, okay. I'll switch to one of these picks. There we go. We should be good to just take our time. I don't want to break any part of the shell. I just wedge my hand in there. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you can see the gunk that was in there. So this is the correct move. I'm gonna let this soak now that these have separated for a while. Then we'll come back and finish this. Now that I had the two layers of the outer shell separated, I just needed to clean off the tape residue. I was hoping that letting it soak would help, but this stuff meant business. So I tried scrubbing it with a sponge, picking it with a spudger, picking it with a pick, calling an exorcist. Eventually, I just realized this stuff wasn't going to go easy, and I had to resort to my least favorite approach. So I decided that we would hit it with Goo Gone. I can't stand the stuff because it's oily and I'm weird, but that's where we ended up going next. We're just left with this little bit of gunk that doesn't want to come off of here. I really don't want to do it, but I think we're gonna need to use some Goo Gone. I just hate the like greasy film that it can leave behind. When I've used Goo Gone in the past, I used the spray bottle, but I came across a thread that said that this bottle is the best, this little yellow one. I don't know what formulation difference there might be, but we're gonna try it. And then how does it recommend I go about this? So apply Goo Gone, wipe, wash with ambient water. For extra gooey messes, let sit 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, this is hardly tacky anymore, but I actually think that's probably not a terrible idea. How do I want to spread it? What seems to be the correct approach? Cotton swab, maybe? Let's try taking a cotton swab and then just doing that. Well, I would say it's an effective way to spread it for sure. Oh wow, this is the tech, guys. Okay. Yeah. All right. Man, it works so well. It's just so annoying. It just leaves such a massive mess of grease behind. But holy cow, does it work. Yeah, this is done more in like 2 minutes than what I was able to do in over half an hour working on this. And there we go. Just like that. All right. We are flying through this, okay. Oh, the hand cramps, okay. Oh, my hand is cramping this much and we're not even halfway done. Because even after we finish this, I still have the other panel. Dude, this is so effective. Like, I know this is its intended purpose, but it's still just crazy to see. There we go. Whew. I am gonna rinse this off with water like it says. That worked out just fine. The water just rinsed it right off. Without a doubt, this was the best experience I've had with Gukon. The result is exactly what I wanted. Didn't make a massive mess because I put this down. We used the cotton swabs to control delivery, so I didn't use too much. And I managed to get it off without having to take forever. I mean, I don't know, this took a minute. So reading directions helps. Now we have this dude. So I need to get rid of the strips of tape there, and then where the feet go, you can see right there, sometimes they disintegrate. And, you know, some of it's adhesive, but like the actual rubber itself falls apart over time, degrades, and it leaves together a really nasty residue that can only be cleaned up by specialized cleaners. So we have to get those. Yeah, we're fine on this shell. Sometimes these disintegrate and need some love, but they cleaned up okay. I guess I will say it called for ambient water, and the ambient water was still leaving a little bit of a residue behind, but I warmed it up to, I guesstimate, that was probably what, 75, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That just washed the rest of the residue right off. I'm pretty happy with this. Again, just came right off. And also the warm water did more here again. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. So I need to put this panel back on. It's a good thing to do. I'm just gonna use normal double-sided Scotch tape. So is it supposed to cover the holes? There we go. I think I put that in the right spot. That's what we want. Now we just gotta make sure that this is aligned when we put it in there.
Now that the shell is all cleaned up, we're ready to deal with some of the scratches. We're just going to use some Novus plastic polish for this. I have 3 different compounds from them based on the depth of the scratches that we're dealing with. Number 3 is for deep scratches, 2 for mild scratching, and 1 is just there to clean and protect the plastic. I decided the scratching on the shell wasn't bad enough to warrant a visit from 3, and also it takes a long time. So we just used 2 and 1 on all of the outer shells. I had to take quite a few passes with 2, but I'm happy enough with how it came out. Honestly, I'm just glad that all the frass is gone.
All right, so now we're ready to deal with the thermal pads. I'm gonna try scissors this time. We'll just see how that goes. Here's what I'm trying to work out. There's this outer ring and then the inner ring on the heatsink. Is it the outer ring is the size of the chip? The outer ring is the size of this chip. So should I cut the thermal pads to the size on the outside or the size on the inside? I'm gonna cut them to the size on the inside. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I read an entire iFixit thing where they were talking about just using thermal paste. And I gotta say, I think that's a terrible idea. There's a very large gap between these chips and the heatsink. I do not think it is a good idea to use anything that doesn't fill that gap. I think I was correct in going with the outside measurement. I'll show you guys how these end up in a moment. I'm just gonna go ahead and get them all cut this time. We're trying to learn some lessons from our last adventure with thermal pads. Okay, so the cool thing about this thermal pad is it's not where I want it. See, but this one covers the entire chip. So I'm just not sure if those lines on this mean anything at all. That might have been really stupid of me. Oh well. I think this is actually the size that I want it to be, the width. So now I just think it's a matter of cutting it where I want it right here, which is probably there. How do we feel? Yeah, okay with that. I don't think that's criminal. So this one ended up covering the entire chip. So if you remember, this chip has the same kind of lip that this one does. That's right about here. And you can see it still goes over that lip. This one comes just inside that. A little different. And then this one, I have no idea what size this was or where it was placed. So I'm just going with where there's not a sticker. And that's that area. I think I did way better than the GameCube as far as these thermal pads are concerned. So like, I'm not upset with this. I just wish I knew more. What size should these be? Am I correct that all of these need to be 1.5 millimeters? Because I found some sources that, you know, did clearly state 1.5 millimeters, but most sources didn't have enough information. Now we can talk about this optical drive. We're just gonna need to make sure that we deep clean everything with isopropyl alcohol, I think. So I'm gonna start over here. I don't see any frass inside of this tray, you know? Why did I say that? Well, this is the cleanest area we've worked in. How about that? Why is there just so much hair inside of this? Like sometimes it ends up in the optical drive or around the fan, and that makes sense, but like there's just been hair everywhere. Should I be concerned that the laser is like, you know, downtown? Or is that fine? Let's start with the roller, because if it wouldn't eject a disc, that roller could be filthy. Filthy rollers do be filthy. I think this is the cleanest Wii optical drive I've had on the channel so far. This spindle, I feel like, looks different than what we're used to.
I checked some other optical drives, and this one is actually weird. Typically, the band on the outside of the spindle, the rubber, is a whole lot larger, and then the spindle thing in the middle, I don't know what to call that. Anyways, the slots inside of that are typically smaller than what's on this. So for some reason, this one does look weird.
How is it so clean yet still filled with roach poo? I just don't understand. It's so almost dirty and almost clean. Hey, brother. Do not have a car accident directly in front of my house while I'm filming. So now it's just a matter of basic maintenance on the system. I'm gonna use Super Lube because it's what I like to do for Wii's. You really do not need much of this stuff. I'm just gonna put a little bit on this back wall and on the posts. Or maybe what's easier is just to put it on the gears themselves, but these gloves are so slick. The knurling on my screwdriver just slips and slides. These gloves are not it. All right, dudes. Let's see what all this work got us. I am not sure what to expect. Let's give him power. Cool. Cool. Hey, what's up? Where's my video? There we go. So we get video. Is this an issue with OBS or is this an issue with my capture card or the Wii? This is not an issue with the Wii because it's still being displayed. And it just doesn't do anything for you guys. I have to sit here and turn it on and off over and over. And it seems to work. And it's frozen again. What is not working properly? Is it the capture card?
At this point, I realized that this just isn't going to go my way. So I reassembled the device, head to Best Buy, and go get a new capture card. I have no idea what was wrong with the one that I was using, but this is the issue that we've been experiencing for a few weeks, where sometimes I can get footage and sometimes I can't. I thought it was a problem with my upscaler, but it seems that it was my capture card. I don't know. I think the problem's fixed. We'll find out next week whenever it doesn't work again.
Let's just like give it a moment. You know, it says it's 2:14 p.m. Let's see if it still feels that way in like 3 minutes. Like if it still says it's 2:14 when it should very clearly be 2:17. That's how I'll know I have a problem. It's a lot of time to kill. Maybe we're feeling a little rippy. You never know. We'll just do like 2 packs, okay? So good at this. First reverse. Beautiful. Oh my god, oh my, second reverse. And an Arboliva. One of those. Oh, first reverse. Little Applin. Nice. Hey, we got a hit. Look at that. Wow. Wasn't this fun, guys? Okay, yeah, so that's still working, which is cool. Let's see if the Wii works now. We just put, I don't know, you know, maybe this game works, maybe it doesn't. Okay, we read the game. We're just gonna play for a little bit just to be sure that we don't have any issues reading games. Don't worry about this. I've played racing games before. All right, okay. Oh, look at those chocolate coins. This works. Give me the Wii menu. Yes, I'm done with it. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. So we take a game, we read a game, we have a great time playing the game. Most important question, the reason that it came here to begin with. That's what's up. That's gonna do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you'd like to see more just like this, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video.